All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to be breaking down Erin Lowry's fantastic book, Broke Millennial. You know, it's a book that's basically become the go-to guide for a generation that feels completely swamped by money stuff. So over the next few minutes, we're going to get to the heart of it so you can actually start taking control.
Does this hit a little too close to home? That constant low-grade hum of anxiety in the back of your mind whenever you think about your bank account, or even hear the word retirement? Listen, if you feel this way, you are so not alone. It's a feeling that pretty much defines the financial reality for so many of us right now. And let's get one thing straight. This isn't about blaming you for buying a fancy coffee. The whole financial game has changed. We're dealing with challenges our parents and grandparents just didn't have to face in the same way. We're talking crushing debt, a wild job market, you name it. And just admitting that, just saying, okay, this is the reality, that's step one.
Okay, so where do you even begin? Well, forget the spreadsheets for a minute. We're gonna start with your own head. The biggest takeaway from Lowry is that getting a handle on money is like 80% psychology and maybe 20% math. You've got to get your mindset right before you can get the numbers right.
This right here, this is the big one. Shame. It's the reason you let the mail pile up unopened, the reason you're afraid to log into your banking app. We just avoid it, hoping it'll all magically disappear. The only way to break that cycle, you have to be brutally, radically honest with yourself. No more hiding.
So we all have these things called money scripts running in the background of our brains. They're the stories you absorbed about money when you were a kid without even realizing it. Maybe you learned that money is scarce or that it's rude to talk about. Well, these old, dusty stories, they are secretly pulling the strings on almost every financial choice you make today. So the question is, how do you flip the script, literally? You catch yourself thinking something like, ugh, I'll never own a home, so what's the point? And you consciously stop and you replace it with, okay, I am taking steps one by one to build my wealth. See the difference? You're going from feeling hopeless to feeling in control. It sounds like a small mental trick, but it's a total game changer for your behavior. All right, so once we start working on our mindset, it's time to get into the nuts and bolts. We're talking about building your financial foundation. Think of it like you're building a fortress, right? It's all about playing defense first, creating that stability that lets you finally take a breath.
And this is huge, because who hasn't tried to do a super strict, no fun allowed budget? You last, 4 days? Then you feel like a total failure and just give up completely. The whole idea here is to ditch that all or nothing crash diet mentality for good. So instead of trying to track every single penny, try thinking in these big buckets. It's called the 50-30-20 guideline. Roughly 50% of your money for the stuff you have to pay for, 30% for the fun stuff that keeps you sane, and a really crucial 20% for your future, savings and getting rid of debt. And hey, this isn't a strict law. It's a flexible starting point. The goal isn't perfection, it's just being intentional. Now, before you start throwing extra money at anything else, there's an order of operations. First things first, you cover your 4 walls. That's the roof over your head, food in the fridge, lights on, and a way to get to work. After that's secure, your next job is to make sure you're hitting the minimum payments on all your debts. This is your stable baseline. And that brings us to your very first mission, a starter emergency fund. Now, we are not talking about some scary, intimidating 6 months of expenses number. Nope, we're just trying to get a quick $500 to $1,000 stashed away. Why? Because this little bit of cash is the wall that stands between a flat tire and another $1,000 of credit card debt. It turns a drama into just an inconvenience. Okay, so once your defenses are up, you've got your 4 walls covered and your starter emergency fund in place. Now it's time to go on the attack. This is the fun part. This is where we start knocking out debt for good and actually start building real wealth for your future. When it comes to tackling that debt, there are really 2 main schools of thought. The debt avalanche is for the math whizzes. You attack the debt with the highest interest rate first, which, yes, saves you the most money over time. Then there's the debt snowball, which is all about psychology. You pay off your smallest debt first, get that quick win, and feel motivated to keep going. There's no right answer here. The best strategy is whichever one you will actually stick with.
All right, let's talk about the magic of growing your money. Investing sounds super complicated and scary, right? Like it's only for Wall Street guys. But the secret sauce isn't about being a stock-picking genius. It's about something way more powerful. And honestly, way more simple: compound interest. It's basically just letting your money make money, and then that money makes even more money, over and over for years.
So what does that really look like? Check out this number. If you start investing just $200 a month at age 25, assuming average market returns, you could be looking at over $1.3 million by the time you retire. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. 1.3 million. That's not from a huge salary or a lucky stock pick. That's just from being consistent and using the most powerful tool you have, time. And if you're thinking, I'll just start later, you need to see this. Waiting just 1 decade, starting that same $200 a month at 35 instead of 25, doesn't just set you back a little. It literally chops your potential nest egg by more than half. I'm telling you, time is the single most valuable currency you've got when it comes to building wealth. So what's the absolute first place you should start investing? It's a total no-brainer. If your job offers any kind of 401k or retirement match, that is your #1 non-negotiable priority. Think about it. It's your boss giving you free money, a guaranteed 100% return on your investment, instantly. There is no better deal on planet Earth. Do not leave that money on the table.
Okay, I know. We've gone through mindset, playing defense, going on offense. It can feel like a mountain of stuff to do. So let's just boil it all down into a super simple action plan with things you can do like this week. And here's the most important rule. Do not try to do all of this at once. You'll get overwhelmed and you'll just quit. Your only job is to pick just one thing from this list to tackle this week. That's it. Maybe you just finally write down all the numbers, or you set up that one automatic transfer. Small, consistent actions are what build momentum.
And as you start this whole process, please remember this. You're gonna mess up. There will be months you overspend. That is totally okay. This is not a pass-fail test. Financial wellness is a journey of just making slow, steady progress. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Forget about next year or even next month. What is the one simple, achievable thing you can do right now, today, to move the needle just a little bit? Because your financial future isn't defined by where you are now, but by the very next step you decide to take.